Welcome back to the vlog. It is Tuesday. Just got back from Texas. We are here at the shop getting some things ready for this week, starting with new AO52 tires that are going to be going on the R32 GTR because it is race week for me. The final round of Nissan Challenge is this weekend, so the R32 GTR has a few things that it needs before that, but not a whole lot. Just some new tires, some new Pennzoil 10W60, and I think the car is pretty much dialed in after that. We're going to be good to go. Other things going on around here is some new inventory showing up and some new things going out. We've got this JTT finally ready to ship. We did some modifications on it, put a new hood on it, along with some other parts that the customer wanted prior to shipping. So this car is set and ready to go. We've got this Celsior that just showed up while I was gone, which is kind of interesting to see. This is something import service only, so we didn't sell this car to the customer. We just helped import it, which is something that we do as well. It's kind of crazy like how lifted this thing is. It looks almost like a off-road vehicle. That wheel gap, I'm guessing this is something that the shipping company did to try to make it easier to get onto the boat. Next to me we have the deep marine blue BN6 R33 GTR. This was in the vlog a couple weeks ago and it went fast. I just sold this car, money just came in, so we're gonna do some kind of final inspections on this thing while the paperwork goes out, and we are getting set to ship this thing out ASAP, hopefully before the holidays. The R32 GTR is still sitting here, but that is gonna change. It's going on the lift tomorrow for those tires and that oil change that we just talked about. Once we're done with that, it'll go on the future trailer while we will get ready to head out to Streets of Willow for the final round of Nissan Challenge. Another new thing that kind of just arrived is this Mitsubishi Pajero Evo. So actually it's not an Evo, it's just a Mitsubishi Pajero. So the Mitsubishi Pajero Evo is a really sick car. We've imported some of those before. It is a rally homologated SUV, really famous for the Dakar Rally. This is just a regular Pajero though. This is also not something that we sold. This is import service only. So again, sometimes we do import cars for people or customers or friends that just need help with the importing, not necessarily purchasing the car. Maybe they already own the car, or they, you know, I don't know, bought it from someone else. I don't know why you do that. But either way, you have a car, you need to get it here. We can help with that. Idling right next to us here is Yaska's R32 GTR. This thing is so sick. I've put it in the vlog before. If you listen to the idle on this, it is incredible. He has the same ARC titanium exhaust that is on my R33 GTR. It sounds phenomenal. I love like how crisp and tight the exhaust sounds with the ARC titanium exhaust. He's got lots of other really good bits around here, including an OG Nismo steering wheel and the Nismo cluster. And can you pop the hood for me? Look at these Nismo LM GT4 GT500 wheels, painted in midnight purple, and underneath an S1 Nismo engine. This thing is so sick. While we were in Japan, he picked up some new parts for this car, which will be going on this car soon. The plan is he's gonna pull the engine, paint the engine bay, so that way the entire car is midnight purple, and it is gonna be super sick to see this thing totally completed. Sounds so sick. All right guys, we are back out here in the shop. Behind me, my R32 GTR, it is race week for us, so even though I had in points enough to win the championship, we're still gonna go out, obviously run this last race. I have to do one lap under green to kind of make that official, but we're gonna take it seriously. We're gonna treat it like a regular race. I will be back at this track again next year for sure, so any data we can collect, any experience I can get on the track is gonna be good for me. Behind us, R32 GTR, so we're gonna take these wheels off and get them sent over to our friends at Revolution Tire, get the new tires mounted and balanced, so we're on fresh Yokohama AO52s for this weekend. while we were waiting on the tires to get done, making some other moves down here, have a meeting right now with Sparco. So we are here outside of Sparco USA. Drove the R33 down, got my helmet with me, and gonna be picking up a couple things that I need to update before the next race, as well as talking about what next year is gonna look like as I start figuring out what type of racing we're gonna do, what type of series we're gonna do. Sparco's been a huge part of that for me, making sure that I stay safe in the car and have kind of all of the things that I need in order to be safe, but also super comfortable, because as I've learned this year, being comfortable in the car makes a huge difference. So let's head in and see what we can find. Lots of cool stuff inside. Always a sim rig is definitely something on my to-do list. I currently don't have one, but would be great to have a sim so I could get more kind of, you know, visual experience, I guess, on some of these tracks before we get to them. And then over here, looking at some new stuff. One of the things I'm picking up today is a new Hans device, which is really important. The one that I have currently is fine and good, but this will be an improved one, and will definitely fit better overall with the complete Sparco thing we have going on. And also looking at some steering wheels as I kind of start looking into ECUs and stuff like that next year. There might be some buttons and extra functions we want to add. So looking at some things that have some cross compatibility like that maybe is definitely useful. Otherwise, so much cool stuff here. It's like a kid in a candy store, always looking around for the newest, latest things, and you know, some other cool stuff around here too. Always worth looking at some new suits while we're here waiting, but this is actually the suits that I have. Same exact one here, and I guess here in the black and red. The suit I like a lot because it's very fitted. It's super lightweight, which obviously you can't tell from the camera, but it's really lightweight, really fitted. It breathes really easily. The Nomex in it is just overall really breathable, super comfortable. No belt on it, which is my preference. I know a lot of guys like to have the belt here so they can kind of put their name on it or whatever, which I guess is cool. I can see why people do that, but for me, I just kind of like the overall cleanness without the belt. All right, so as always, we are leaving Sparco with some goodies for this weekend, and big thanks to everybody down here who's always given me the best pointers on you know, what I need to stay safe and stay comfortable. Right now, it's back to top rank and get working on the 32. We're back at it in the shop, getting the R32 ready. Obviously, one of the things that we have to do here is just some basic maintenance for this car. The car's already really dialed in. I'm happy with how it's running. So there's a few things we're doing, starting with an oil change. And of course, we're using Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic, 10W60 Racing Oil. This is not available off the shelf yet, but hopefully someday this will be available. You can order it online though. It is available through their motorsports division and also through their website. So we're doing an oil change here, getting things set. Next step is gonna be bleeding the brakes. For that, we're gonna be using some high temp brake fluid and just kind of checking the life of the pads, rotors, that kind of stuff. Everything looks good, so we're just going to bleed them so they're set there, and then putting on the front splitter, diffuser, all of that other kind of stuff that the car needs to kind of go through. Elvin's helping do a little filling. Javi's helping nut and bolt the car. We check everything, make sure everything is tight where it needs to be, including going through the safety harnesses and that kind of stuff. Taking a little break from working on the 32 because we have kind of a new delivery here. Again, we're working on improving both facilities, Cypress and Long Beach, and with that comes new lifts. So on the lift that my car is on right now is a new Benpack 2-post lift that we got. Next to us here is a Benpack 4-post that is going to be putting in right there. This time of year, I guess a lot of people are upgrading their shops too, because this lift actually came from my friend Dustin, who's getting some new lifts in his shop, and had this 4-post Benpack. So we were in the market for a 4-post Benpack, picked this up from Dustin, win-win for everybody. He gets this out of his shop, we get it into ours. So they are here installing this right now. This will help open up some more space for us. We can put 2 cars here. So it's gonna go in this corner so we can stack a couple extra cars here, make more room inside for all of the things that we have going on. In order to get their big truck backed in there to unload that, we had to move a ton of cars. So you can see lots of wide open space here. But that's nice because gives us a chance to start up and run all of these cars around here that we had to move, to kind of cycle the fluids again, keep the fuel moving through them, batteries on point, just make sure everything runs and starts all of the time. So all in all, worked out to have them come today so we could cycle all of the cars. While all of that is going on, we do have a car leaving us today. This Mitsubishi Pajero is taken off, heading to its new owner in Colorado. So we're doing our kind of overview and inspection of this. One thing that Elvin is doing, you can see right there, is taking photo and video all the way around the car, making sure that any nick, ding, dent, etc. is noted. Because this car did not come from us, we have to be really, really careful and make sure that everything that's on this car is well documented. That way, if the owner receives it and something is off or something is different than what he expected, we can kind of say, hey, you know, this is how the car came in to our shop. And then also here is a photo of exactly how the car left our shop. Everything check out?
Yeah, things are good. Things are good.
Looking good. Inside, these are actually really cool. Again, like I said, they did make an Evo version of these, the Pajero Evo. This is a GDI version. It's automatic. Came with all of these, I guess, kind of little trinkets. So again, just inventorying everything that is here in the car, making sure everything that came with the car leaves with the car, so that way when the new owner gets it, it's all in one piece. We do also have a new R33 GTR that just arrived for our inventory. It is in 1996 in silver, sitting on bronze TE37s. This one is really nice, has the N1 rear spats like my car has on it. It is also a V-spec. It has some of the Nismo carbon garnishes on it here. And overall, nice car. Has the 98 steering wheel, so kind of upgraded steering wheel look there. Nismo front bumper on this car, which is really nice. And the, of course, OEM Brembos coming on it with paint match front lip. This car is really nice. It's going to be listed for around $65,000, $67,000 for this car. Has 70,000 kilometers on it with records, so should be a really great car for our inventory and should sell really fast at that price point for sure. All right, the next thing we are doing here is bleeding the brakes. So adding some fresh brake fluid, starting to sound like Taka, to this thing, and we're gonna bleed the brakes and go through that whole process, pumping the pedals, making sure there's no air bubbles or anything in the brakes. So got a nice firm pedal while we're on track. Wheels and tires are back on. The fresh Yokohama AO52 Advan AO52s on the car, which is what we're running this week for Nissan Challenge. The APR front splitter getting ready to go on. This is kind of cool. It's a custom bracket setup that's meant to go on easy and come off easy. So it mounts, quick mounts right here. Stole that idea from some of the OG Honda guys. Ernie rigged that up. And of course the APR carbon splitter kind of helps create a little bit more downforce in the front, which complements the APR GT250 wing in the back. All right, so front diffuser is on. You can see it covers a good amount of the under there. This is what is allowed within regulation for the spec. It can't come out more than 5 inches from the front. So it needs to be 5 inches all the way around, which is exactly where we're at. This pin system helps create a quick release here as well as the quick release we saw underneath. So everything works together really nicely, and it comes on and off relatively simply. All right, so we are up and running, and we're gonna head out, quick little drive, test those brakes, make sure everything feels good, and then I think we are set. All right, it is Friday, and we are here at the Long Beach shop. I just trailered over the R32 GTR, which is having some last minute checks and things done. Brakes are being a bit finicky, so Sean is gonna put it on the dyno, do a quick tune, and then we're gonna bleed the brakes, do some extra kind of things, double check the brake bleeding that we did yesterday, and maybe bleed the ABS just in case that's an issue. Sean's got his R32 Nismo together and getting ready to come with this weekend, which is going to be sick. He's got the Hoosiers R7s, which these are absolute monster tires, which is going to be insane in the Nismo for sure. And then Taka's R32 GTR here getting set to join us as well. And we've got Wakita's GTR getting set. But around here you can see our new shop here in Long Beach is coming together. Lots of inventory here waiting to get kind of checked out. Some of these are import service cars only, so cars that are not part of our inventory, but people bought them from other people and want us to kind of go through them and do maintenance and service and stuff like that, which is something that we're trying out as far as being able to offer, you know, kind of service on cars that come back from us. This is an R32 GTR that got California compliance done a while back. This car is in for a little bit of service right now, so slowly making our way into that kind of side of things. Of course, starting with our own cars first, but now it is back to Cyprus. Have to try to get some work done today, sell some more cars, get everything together for the weekend, and come back here to keep working on this thing so we can have it totally ready by tomorrow. And as I'm leaving, can't forget about Ernie, who's got his R32 GTR ready to go for this last round of Nissan Challenge also. We're back in Cyprus where there's plenty of work to get done. We have this R34 GTR that just came back from dry ice blasting. I haven't looked underneath it yet, but I'm sure it's great. We send these cars over to Jacob at IM Detailing sometimes just to really clean them up. Again, not because there's rust issues or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, if you haven't seen what dry ice blasting does to the underside of a car when it comes to just cleaning things up, it makes them look so incredibly presentable. Jacob at IM Detailing does a fantastic job. He did my 911. I'll definitely have him do the Supra and some other cars too. It's just when you're driving, you don't even realize how much stuff over the years builds up underneath, that when you dry ice blast it, it really does reset the car and just makes it look super, super nice. We've got the Infinity on the lift right now, the QX56, aka the tow rig. This thing we have been towing with it for a while now, and the rear air shocks are a little worn out, so you can see these are definitely the ones that came with it. This thing has like almost 300,000 miles on it now, so we're replacing these with new ones. This has an air compressor in it that actually does kind of help control the squat, so that'll be great, considering that I will once again be towing the R32 GTR this weekend to the track. And then it looks like we've got some new stuff that came in. We've got an R32 GTR here, or R34 GTR here, that just landed here with us. This thing looks pretty nice, pretty clean. It's got a Nismo cluster in it, some Nismo carbon parts, stock wheels, Nismo side skirts. So this looks like a nice one, pretty close to stock. Again, we'll see if it's going to require some modification or if we're just going to go ahead and leave it completely stock, because we have been playing around with these a little bit, doing some modifications. And inside the warehouse here, relatively packed up. The new bend pack is in, which is fitting great here. So we're deciding a little bit about whether or not we're going to add more lifts going down or just leave this one here, but is currently housing Yaska's R32 GTR, which is a great place for it. It's Friday evening. We're back here in Long Beach. Car is on the dyno, trying to diagnose some of its boost issues. So we kind of, well, hard to see the dyno chart over there, but it is peaking a little bit. So they're trying to figure out how to maybe bypass the boost controller and do it through the ECU. That's what we're working on right now. Over here, Sean's car, pretty much together. Taka's car, pretty much together. So it's really cool that these guys are gonna be joining me for this final event. They entered as just kind of a fun way for us all to drive together. So it'll be really cool to be on track with the guys for the final one, for sure. All right, so we have everything hooked up underneath the hood here temporarily. The way that we have it just for testing. That'll get probably buttoned up better here at some point. But Sean is in playing on the computer, seeing if we can get this thing locked down. All right, so we are gonna run it on the dyno, see how it does. This one took us to 474 at 22 PSI. We're getting there. For right now, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. We got the cars getting loaded back in. I'm taking the 33 to dinner. We're doing a little company dinner tonight at a restaurant called Anjin that I absolutely love. It's one of Yasuka's friends' places, so bringing you guys along for that while we have some amazing Japanese barbecue before we're back here in the morning. For the vlog, Alvin, what do you think? First time at Anjin. Everybody here for the company dinner.
After that, you started seeing.
Ooh, harami is one of my favorites. How was your first experience at Anjin? Good?
What?
How would you rate it?
The barbecue was out of 10, bro. Like a 9.
A 9?
I mean, I haven't had nothing this good in a long time.
That's pretty good. We smashed some food. I forgot to show you my dessert, but look at it. It's a pineapple. So good? So good. Such a good dinner with everybody. I love this place, Anjin in Costa Mesa. Our favorite place for company dinners. And of course, the best part of it is I get to drive this home on the wide open freeways. Man, I love it. We just came off from the qualifying lap and or qualifying session. Did not go well actually at all. So few issues that came up was even though we did nut and bolt check this thing, somehow I blew a fuel pressure line here that came off. The dipstick backed out, got oil all over the place, and still fighting braking issues. So we've got those two things tightened up, but now we're putting the cars up on a ramp right here. Gonna jack this off. We're gonna jack this up and take off this front splitter. Again, earlier in the video I said that the beauty of this was that it's very easy to take on and off to get stuff done very quickly. Part of getting this thing up and lifted up so we can take the wheels and tires off to re-examine the brakes is taking off this front splitter, which is gonna be super easy thanks to that quick release system. All right, so splitter is off, car is up on jack. Okita is attempting to scrub my brakes here, pads, and stuff the rotors to see if we can get a little bit more response out of these before we head back out for actual time. All right, so it doesn't seem like the brake issue is entirely figured out. We've bled them, we've done bled the ABS, we've taken the pads out, put new pads in, scuffed up the rotors, still having some issues, but gonna send it and see how it goes. Maybe it'll re-alive itself at some point. We're doing some kind of final checks here on the car before it goes out. Sean is making some on-the-fly tuning adjustments here, and we're gonna go see what we can do. This is the last round of Nissan Challenge, so obviously want to kind of give it my all, though as far as points go, I think I've already secured the championship first place spot for this, so pretty hyped on that, but nonetheless still want to go out and be competitive and try to do everything I can to try to do well today. Place again today obviously would be incredible, just a sick way to kind of wrap up the year, so hopefully we can land somewhere in the top 3 here today. All right, it was worth it to send it because the car did well. I am gonna be heading home with 2nd place today, which is good for today. Puts me in 1st overall in the championship, which is great. The car is a little hurt, has some things going on. Actually, all of our cars are a little hurt. We drove them really hard today, but fortunately we can fix these. So it works out good for us to get out, exercise them. Excellent marketing. Lots of people came up, talked to us about the Skyline, so it was cool to have everybody here driving them, and of course continue to make so much progress on this car, but we're gonna get it loaded up for now and set to head back to the shop, drop the car off, and back in the office tomorrow morning. All right, packing things up. Second place today, first in the series overall. And then we also got newcomer Ernie Fixmer. Look at that, class 1. That's a hard class to be in. Third place. Many more of those to come, I'm sure.
R32 against the 35.
R32 against the 35s.
Yes.